RVBN, the Rich Video Blog Network, home to weekly NFL predictions, great personality profiles, great professional wrestling video blogs, great sports video blogs, great MBTA video blogs, great entertainment video blog, plus great top 10 list of everything and anything video blog. Collection of my work goes back to June of 2014 on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. Check it out. RVBN. Time's now 8:26 in the evening for Thursday, January 26, 2017. And it's about 41 degrees in Billerica, Massachusetts. Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the day. Some news to report before the subject on hand on the RVBN Newswire. The Washington Nationals signed infielder Stephen Drew to a one-year contract. Also, David Ortiz's retirement of his number 34 is going to occur at Fenway Park on June 23rd. And Isaiah Thomas of the Boston Celtics got named to the reserves of the Eastern Conference All-Star team. The NBA All-Star Games in a few weeks from New Orleans. It's on TNT, called by Marv Albert and hosted by Ernie Johnson. And that's about it on news from the RVBN Newswire. Be back in a flash with my third and final video blog of the night. Get out. You're so sweet, cuz they're cute. The more the merrier. Go find something to do. I know. I'm doing good. Wanna put a wager on that, Richie? Oh my. What you gonna do when the largest arms in the world grow right on you? Great quotes only on RVBN. Time's now 8:28 in the evening. Keep calm, everybody. And I'm a Julie Bunny guy. Julie is News 6, Orlando, Florida. Anchor, weather lady. Julie rocks. She's got the best legs in Orlando, Florida. And soon, I'm going to interview her for my video blog because Julie's the best. And she's awesome. Thumbs up, Julie. I love you. I'm back. My third and final video blog subject of the night is about the WWE house show card at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, on January 21st, 1985. The main event was for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. It was Greg the Hammer Valentine, the champion, facing off against the challenger of his longtime rival Tito Santana, plus other exciting matches on this card. It was called on the MSG Network by Gorilla Monsoon and Mean Gene Okerlund. And here's what happened on the card. First match was Moondog Rex facing off against Terry Gibbs. Both were basically preliminary wrestlers and both were heels, but Terry Gibbs was kind of the de facto babyface in this match, and it was a back and forth match. Moondog Rex won in about 15 minutes with a reverse backbreaker. The next match was Rene Goulet facing off against Bret Hart, making his Madison Square Garden debut. Bret was not the Hitman at this time. He was a clean-cut baby's face. And this was a competitive match. Rene Goulet looked pretty good, but in the end, Bret Hart put him in sleep. Bret Hart didn't have the sharpshooter back then. The next match was Tony Garea facing off against Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Neidhart was also making his Madison Square Garden debut. And this was another competitive match. Tony Garea gave the Anvil a run for his money, almost pulled off an upset, but in the end, Jim Neidhart pinned Tony Garea with the power slam. Tony never won matches in this time period because he was basically a jobber to the stars, basically his career was winding down. The next match was Swede Hansen facing off against the magnificent Don Morocco with Mr. Fuji in his corner. And this was another competitive match, about 10 minutes. Swede was giving Morocco a run for his money, almost pulled off the upset, but in the end, Morocco gave the Tombstone pile driver and pin sweep for 1, 2, 3. Tombstone pile driver was famous by The Undertaker, but Don Morocco did not put Sweet and Hansen in a casket. But he could have. The next match was Moondog Spot facing off against Black Jack Mulligan. And this was refereed by the first ever female referee in the WWE, Rita Marie. And this was about a 6-7 minute matchup. Black Jack Mulligan wins with a small package. I thought he would win this match by the claw. That's his most famous move. But it wasn't meant to be. The next match was a grudge match. It was Ken Patera with Bobby the Brain Heenan facing off against Andre the Giant. And the grudge match happened because Ken Patera and Big John Studd cut the hair of Andre the Giant on Championship Wrestling in December of 1984. They raped the Giant's dignity. The Giant had shorter hair, and he was just kind of vicious on Ken Patera. And, he was beating him up. Referee, reprimanded him a couple of times. And at the end, Bobby the Brain Heenan comes from the top rope using a foreign object. Referee sees that, automatically disqualifies Ken Patera, and Andre just cleans house on Patera and Bobby the Brain Heenan, giving them the big boot. The next match on this card was George Wells facing off against Big John Studd with Bobby the Brain Heenan in his corner. This Big John Studd wanted to be called the Giant John Studd, and this was kind of a squash match for Big John Studd. He beat George Wells after a backbreaker, pinning him in about 7 minutes. Our referee in this match gave a fast count. But that wasn't, that George Wells was not going to kick out. Anyway, the next match was a Texas Tornado match. And I'm not talking about Kelly Von Erich. This was a grudge match. It was Rowdy Piper and Cowboy Bob Orton facing off against a Junkyard Dog, substituting for the Tonga Kid who got fired. His partner was Jimmy Superfly Snuka. A Texas Tornado match is a tag team match, but all 4 wrestlers are legally in the ring. So that's why they call it a Texas Tornado match. It was, back and forth, unbelievable action. Ending had Piper trip Junkyard Dog from the ring apron, and Cowboy Bob Orton, or Ace, what Piper called him, took the easy pin on the Junkyard Dog. The next match was Quick Draw, Rick McGraw facing off against the Spoiler. And this match was, a little bit of a squash match by the Spoiler. He finishes Quick Draw Rick McGraw in 8 minutes with the butterfly suplex. And in the main event for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, it was the challenger Tito Santana, or what Jesse the Body Ventura called him, Chico, facing off against the WWE Intercontinental Champion at this time, Greg the Hammer Valentine. Greg the Hammer Valentine was managerless at this point because Captain Lou Albano turned face. And this was a competitive match, both back and forth. Hammer tried to get the figure 4 on Tito Santana, but he escaped. Tito Santana put the figure 4 on Greg Valentine, but he went through the ropes and clean back. In the end, Tito Santana does the flying forearm, or what Bobby Brain Heenan used to call it, the flying burrito. Greg the Hammer Valentine goes out to the arena floor, and the referee counts him out to 10. Tito wins the match, but he cannot win the IC title because titles do not change hands on count out or disqualification. So Hammer retains the IC championship. And this Madison Square Garden house show was probably a C, an average one. Kind of a 3-match card in my humble opinion. The rest of this was basically kind of filler and jobber matches after jobber matches. But this is what you always would see for Madison Square Garden house show cards in this time of day. And that's about it on that. I'll be back tomorrow, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+, with 3 more video blogs coming for you. First video blog will be about the top 10 list of everything and anything. Tomorrow's top 10 list will be the top 10 most famous mustaches of all time, in my humble opinion. Second video blog will be about the American Hockey League, or the AHL. And the third and final video blog of the night will be about the MSG house show card from the WWE, February 18th, 1985, the war to settle the score. And I always say when I end these video blogs, keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Byrne guy. Molly Roseblood, WCCO, Oxford, nice legs. Elizabeth Hart, so stunning, she's the best. Amy Squeezy's awesome Amy. Linda Church of WPIX Channel 11, New York, such a rocking Cougars, get the best legs in New York City, bar none. Barbara Gibbs of WBC 11 has a sweet southern accent. Jamie Hirsch of NHL Network is such a cutie pie, and she's got the best legs in the NHL Network. And Melissa from the Tilted Kilt in Billerica is so awesome. She's got the best legs at the Tilted Kilt. And in the words of Dr. Thomas Sharkey, former principal of BMHS, this action will not be tolerated. BMHS, if I did that in class at BMHS, I could get serious disciplinary action. Good night, everybody.